go.
Hi, Warriors. Dale Pinkert here at TradeGATEHub, and we're sponsored by TradeView Markets. Check them out. So Monday, I talked about the potential of this wedge, of a breakout in the wedge to the upside that may end up delivering new highs in yields. We had some news today. The employment report was weak, but GDP came in stronger than expected, so yields are up. And I would say one of the most interesting things that since Monday, we had this big down day on Monday in S&Ps, and metals have gotten it all back and then some. Silver threatening 22. I underestimated this, and gold trying to rally, still well off its highs. And with that happening, the gold underperformance, we are about to make new lows and retest this wedge again in the gold silver ratio. I think it comes in right around this 78 level, right? So there's still more downside, you could tell by the strength in silver. But when you look at what happened on Monday, everything was down, right? I looked smart about silver. The currencies were down, and metals were down, and everything has recovered. Even though gold hasn't made a new high from Monday, it's had a nice recovery. This was Monday, right? Here's this. Silver, an outstanding recovery. We'll see if it could close over 22 with the gold silver ratio. Sure, looks like it could. And the euro had a pretty good down day right here on Monday, and it's getting it back now. Same with cable. In fact, when I look at euro, I see two drives here. I see one, I see two, and there could be another up here above 105, which could pressure the dollar. But if yields are turning up, we may have put in a temporary low in the US dollar yen at this 138 level. That's a headline, the title of this video, where if yields make new highs, I'm not saying the yen will make a new high, but it could rally back to give us some type of failing rally up towards the 144 to 145 level. So plenty of pips there and plenty of risks too. We have Moses coming down to the from the mountain to the Brookings Institute today, and the whole world is expecting Powell to talk hawkishly. The surprise would be if he doesn't. So we could get a recovery here with the yen all the way back to 44. When I look at the dollar not as strong as the yen, a little switch from the other day. We'll see. It's very possible we could still test, and remember, this is the big line in the sand for the bull case in the dollar coming up, where this 200-day and pivot at about 104. As long as the dollar holds these levels on any weak data that we get, and we have the biggest one tomorrow being PCE, that I still thought we could rally back towards 109. We start closing back over 109, 110. Then maybe there's a shot for a new high. But keep an eye on any weak data for a potential third drive on the daily up here in the euro above 105. Don't know if that's going to happen. The thing I do still have the most conviction about is the S&P is not recovering from Monday's down day. At the most, you could say it's holding. And I still think there's potential for 38. Talked about that the VIX is pretty undervalued here at 22. And perhaps we get a rally back towards 26, 28 if I'm right about a pullback in the S&Ps. The daily says, 38 is possible. The weekly has, I believe, the 4-hour has 38.5 right here. So if those levels are taken out, perhaps what we get is some type of real big fear move all the way back down here in the coming days, especially if we have a strong employment report on Friday and the PCE, which everyone's expecting because the last couple inflation numbers have been pretty benign. They're expecting that again tomorrow. the market would be off sides if that happened. And I do think the market's off sides if this move in the 10-year does continue and begin to accelerate towards new highs. I think that's going to put pressure on everything. So going into the next couple days, I'd be buying weakness in the yen, wrong under, you don't want to risk these levels because otherwise we could have maybe a third drive, but it's starting to get stretched out. I remember Monday, I thought we could have maybe a third drive, but it's coming out of here. Closing back over 140 is going to set the stage for that in US dollar yen. And the S&Ps, I think, are very vulnerable. I think VIX is a decent buy, and we'll see what happens with the dollar if I'm right about a 10-year. Move in the 10-year back towards 440, 450. It is interesting with the dollar weaker. Normally, you'd have sharply higher S&Ps because this would be risk on, right? So we're really not getting much here. So I think the S&Ps could be vulnerable in the coming days. Want to invite everyone to join us here at TradeGATEHub. I have a great guest again tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed Dave yesterday. And I'm going to have Luke Roman with us tomorrow. And Luke will have some very interesting commentary. He's the publisher, editor, author of The Forest from the Trees newsletter. Very highly demanded speaker. We're fortunate to have him tomorrow. Mike will be with you in about an hour and 20 minutes. Good luck. We're starting to have silver come off just a little, getting a little bit of a wick here. I'd be careful being long anything right now, except looking for a pretty good bounce in the yen. And let's see if I'm going to end up being proved right about this move up here in 10-year yields. It's really running the market. And if both metals and the dollar do not react much to this next move in interest rates, I think that you could say there's a bottom, because after this move, I am expecting rates to decline after we make this move to the upside. So good hunting. Join us here at TradeGATEHub.com. Check out TradeView Markets. They have very tight, very competitive spreads, if that's your thing. And you can trade every instrument. It's for traders outside of the US. And I want to wish Mike good luck and all of you good luck. If we're helping you and adding value to what you're trying to accomplish as a trader, give us a like and spread the word that you could come to TradeGATEHub.com. Good hunting the rest of the day and through the end of the week. And remember, most of all, don't just count your pips, count your blessings.